Meeting to order. Okay, hi everyone. Has everyone had a chance to approve the minutes from last meeting?
Yes.
Yes,
Are there any changes?
no,
No. Okay,
not that I can see.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Upcoming and future events. Let's see. Dawn, would you like to tell the group about the history of North Park?
Yes, we have a park ranger, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing his first name right. I think it's Daglan McManus, and Sue, I know we got the information from Vic for that. He's a park ranger with Allegheny County, and he's going to do a presentation on the history of North Park on April 27th, which is a Wednesday at 7 p.m. And we had a choice of either doing the general history or one that went back to and explained how North Park started during the Depression. Really, the general one I think would be better for a more diverse public. So that's what he's going to be doing. And Abby, I think you've already contacted him with. Well, we have everything he needs in equipment and all of that. So we're raring to go. We just have to figure out a way to get some advertising.
Yes. I will send those details to John, and then I'll ask Daglan to send over like any graphics or anything. So we can have a little blurb about what the presentation will be out, so we can advertise that way. We also have a Boy Scout troop who emailed us asking if we could do a tour for them. They are, I believe he said he was in first or second grade Boy Scout troop. There will be 10 Boy Scouts coming on, April 2nd, which is a Saturday. So if anyone would like to help put together some sort of program, it'll probably be like 45 minutes and then do maybe a take home activity, or like we have a scavenger hunt here. I could adapt the scavenger hunt for them, but it was basically they needed to visit some sort of museum as a part of their Boy Scout curriculum or training, or however you call it. So they are coming to see us on April 2nd. Okay, so then we have our reopening March 9th. I'm still tossing around ideas to do some sort of hat themed event either in late March or early April. But I don't know if we'll be able to put something together in time for the end of March or not, but we should definitely start advertising that we are reopening soon.
When you say an event for hats, what are you talking about?
I don't
Just-
know.
Oh, okay.
Some sort of like reopening, exhibition opening kind of thing centered around hats. So if anyone has any ideas or connections in the hat world.
I thought that's what we were gonna do. We're gonna reopen with the hat exposition. No?
Oh, we definitely are. I'm just talking
Okay.
about like an extra, public event rather than just the, display that we're putting together.
If we
Okay.
could get pictures of some of the hats, in the what's that paper that comes around?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
When
Yeah,
is the first day of spring? It's sometime in March, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we could do like hats off for spring or something like that, tie it together with
That's a neat idea.
Wonder, okay.
Even if it's not exactly the first day, if we did it around that time, might give us a little more time after the opening and we can,
Yeah,
Would
not
you,
exactly Easter, but it's, the Easter hat or spring hat kind of thing could be a way. And if we have some historical. Yeah,
Easter's
Would-
late this year.
yeah, it is. I think maybe spring would be better.
would you want during maybe that first week to invite people to wear hats and we could take pictures and build sort of a collage
mhm.
to add to and grow the exhibit as we,
Yeah, that could be
as
cool.
we go through that week? And let people sort of show off what they have at home and encourage them to wear them, take a quick photo, and then we can print them and put them on a board, make a collage out of it. I don't know, just a thought.
Post
Yeah.
them on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
Who's going to be putting that exhibit together?
We've received a lot of loans and donations from our volunteers and from the things that we are already had here. So me and Suzanne and Georgette will be meeting here on Wednesday to start the display process. So it'll probably take a couple days for us to display that and then, fill in any gaps that might exist otherwise that are empty. So
Is there anything
Um,
else that you need? I mean, I'm going to be bringing in purses and handkerchiefs. Do you want like jewelry boxes, hair combs?
right now we have a lot of hats.
Okay.
So I think that it might be a nice compliment, but I don't know that it would be necessary. Can I let you know after we start setting up on Wednesday?
Well, we're meeting there on this weekend, right?
Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to just bring them in on Sunday.
Okay, all right,
I'll
that
just
works.
bring what I have.
Okay.
Do you have enough hats? Or I have somebody I overheard somebody's conversation about they're cleaning out their parents' house and
Mhm.
they had a ton of hats. So I said,
Okay.
oh, I could use those hats. And I haven't gotten them yet, but but I'm wondering, do you need more or are you kind of already inundated with them?
I think we're good. I'll have a better idea on Wednesday when we actually start putting things together.
Abby,
because-
do you have enough men's hats though?
That's,
yeah, we could use some more men's hats. We
Okay.
have, we got a
I-
couple more.
I have one
Until
I
last
have to
meeting.
bring.
Okay,
I have
Um,
several.
okay.
Oh, good.
Well, maybe I'll just send an update to the group after our Wednesday. After our Wednesday setup to show you what the progress is. And if anybody has anything they'd like to contribute, that'd be probably fine. Okay. But Donna McKay, one of our new volunteers, her husband is an amateur woodworker and he made us hat stands. He made, I think, 12 of them. John Burke Bickler made 2 hat trees. So I was blown away with, people willing to help and donate things for this exhibition. So I'm thankful to everyone who has contributed. I think that's all on hats for now. Joe, do you have any updates on your golf outing? And do we have any updates on the May anniversary event weekend plans?
Well, on the 20th is chiefly what I'm responsible for, and that is the golf outing. And all this committee will have all the documentation, all I guess the registration and all the corporate stuff within the next week or so.
Okay,
I'll be sending it out for everybody to approve.
okay,
We're going to charge $75 per person. I was told that amount is low, but I want to get I want to get enough people involved in this thing before we raise the prices. The tea sponsorships are going to be $300 a piece, and we expect to get 4 on each one of them.
okay.
So, I really feel good about this. We got Dick's Sporting Goods involved. They're going to give us door prizes for each of the golfers themselves. And some of the money that we get for the for the tea sponsorships, we're gonna have to buy some prizes closest to the pin and things of that nature. But I see this being a huge boon. And it's something that we can do probably 2 times a year, one in the spring and one in the fall.
Okay.
So Joe, what sort of options are open for those of us that don't golf but want to support the event?
Well, you can, the dinner is going to be held at Tomato Pie.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're going to have dinner at Tomato Pie. You can buy dinner, you can buy a ticket for dinner. If you want to be a spectator, but to be honest with you, Diane, if you can shut a car door, you can play par 3 golf.
Okay,
And
I mean,
and I really
I'm-
believe I have all the faith in the world in you that you have the athletic ability to swing a club.
I do. I took golf at Westminster, for heaven's sakes. I did badly, but as long as it doesn't matter that I show up and embarrass myself, I'm willing to do it.
Listen, that's why you do the par 3, because it attracts everybody. It's not just for the avid golfer. It's for the schlep like myself. It's for somebody that hasn't even golfed before. All you need is 3 clubs on a par 3.
Yeah, when you do the goofy golf one next door to us, I'm all in.
That's next.
Yeah.
That's next.
I'm preparing a brief synopsis for Abby so she can submit it to the town council for the March meeting, along with all the promotional materials. I need to get with John to make sure that we're all set up as far as receiving the checks.
Okay.
So do I want to put together a foursome? Is that what I want to do?
Absolutely.
A foursome of people who
There's
cannot
gonna be
golf.
there's gonna
It'll
be
great.
there's gonna be 2 foursomes on every hole.
Okay.
So it's basically going to be 72 golfers maximum.
Excellent. I am
Okay.
so excited.
Me too.
I got to
And the
find 3
fact of the
friends.
matter is that they're gonna keep this open from 8 o'clock until 11 o'clock.
It's
It-
it's like
you
the
know,
novelty of misrule,
Yes.
It's like when I do something at the library and serve food. It's just so exciting because it's wrong.
Kind of where I'm headed next. Have we talked about doing an Easter egg hunt at the Heritage Center?
That's kind of cute.
Yeah, that's very cute.
I think you do an Easter egg hunt, maybe you charge $5 and you give the kids a donut and you give them an orange juice, and it brings people out again that would not normally come to the Heritage Center. My whole goal is to try and get people to utilize this center that wouldn't normally, okay, and to make it approachable by a lot of different people. So
An Easter egg hunt would be very similar to the Winterfest.
yes,
where
it would.
you have family and kids come out, especially the little kids. They bring, the parents come right with them.
So if everybody's okay with that, I'll put something together for Abby for the March meeting for the Easter egg hunt.
That's April 17th is Easter this year.
Okay.
So
I do wanna
I'd
point
like to
out-
do it. I'd like to do it the week before then. So if it's the 16th, I guess then April 9th. I'd like to do it on a Saturday morning.
I do want to
What-
point out really quickly, Joe, there is apparently plans for an Easter egg hunt just in general on town hall grounds, probably around the same day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But I mean, last time that happened, we did have the Heritage Center open, at least as a bathroom, and people did stop in to look. So we can still try to tie it in with them.
yeah, I thought about using it as maybe some sort of fundraiser if we got people to start giving, a few bucks here, a few bucks there. But
Could
if,
you, if the town is already having a hunt, could you open up the Heritage Center and have that be something where the children could make a hat?
That's
would
what I was
tie
just going
in
to say.
To the current exhibit,
They could make an Easter bonnet.
right?
that would actually be really cool.
Okay.
And with a $5 donation or something like that.
Do we know the day of then that the township's doing there? Easter egg hunt? John, do you know that?
I would have to take a look because it's a local nonprofit is running it, the Campbell's Community Association. We just sort of let them use the grounds and sort of assist with a couple things.
Hmm.
So I think there was some debate over what would be the exact date. So I can try to look at that.
Okay.
Easter egg.
And then as far as the 5-year anniversary,
Mhm.
we only touched upon that at the last meeting. So I'm open for all kinds of ideas. I mean, we could actually do a mini carnival on the township grounds that are associated with the Heritage Center. You know, I could see us having a 3-on-3, you know, utilizing not just the Heritage Center, but the town hall and the town grounds, maybe a 3-on-3 basketball tournament in the morning, you know, really kind of do what we try and do with the township days. And I don't, last year we had an event over there in the spring where all the fire trucks were out and whatnot. I honestly think we can build upon that because I think that this town actually needs more community events like that. But I think we need to appeal to a wider variety of people. I think if you can get the kids involved in one aspect of it, or maybe even have, you know, a mini baseball or softball tournament, have people there all day long celebrating, you know, what we're trying to do with the Heritage Center. The more things that we can get interjected into this day of celebration, I think would be great.
When is the anniversary? Is there a month that is?
It's May 21st is when we're going to celebrate it.
Oh, the same as the golf outing. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the golf outing is on Friday.
Mhm.
The celebration would be Saturday. If you want me to, Abby, I can put some stuff together, some activities that I think would work. I can talk to some people at North Allegheny and see if maybe we could get the band over there or
Yeah.
some of the local, you know, little leagues and get them to play games at Devlin Field that day against one another.
Okay.
Remember where that's the in the heart of all the spring athletics.
Yeah,
Yes.
they'll be there anyway.
Yeah, just speaking as a mom of 4 kids, I know I'll be in Philly myself at a rowing event, but I remember my soccer days. That is when it's hot and heavy. That
Yeah,
weekend.
You know what, if we have people on the soccer field, if we have people on the baseball field, and if we have people, I can talk with Dave DiGregorio and see if you can get something going on at the basketball hoops. I want to see people there all day.
Mhm.
I want it to be the hub of activity. And truly, I want to make a big deal out of this celebration. 5 years of this Heritage Center is a big deal. And
Yeah.
it's a big, you know, we should make a big deal out of it.
I'm concerned that people will be competing with all their activities. You know, I'm not sure what date that starts. Does soccer start in April?
Yeah.
Yes, it starts in April, but what I'm telling you, Sue, is I don't want to compete with them. I
Yeah.
want to make them bring those activities along with the celebration. So it's not as far as a competition, it's just bringing it together in closer quarters.
With the original opening, and we did anniversaries the first couple of years, we also always incorporated the military because that's Armed Forces Day. So we often had military vehicles there that some local folks had and brought in and did some things with some of the veterans groups as well. So you might want to consider that again. With the vehicles, it was, you know, like a touch a truck kind of event too. And that was always, you know, good for the kids.
The kids loved it when they were able to crawl up on the trucks. I think the garbage truck was there.
Well, you know, the really cool thing, last spring when you had a community day, you had the police had the SWAT team brought their vehicle out. You had some of the fire vehicles.
That was for
Yeah.
National Night Out, Joe.
Yes, National Night Out.
And
Yeah.
that is planned to occur again with the town. So we have to, be careful of redundancy too. Just keep an eye on those things. And the town is definitely planning on that again. And that's always, it's kind of, I think it's always like
In
the
August.
Tuesday of August kind of thing.
Well, you know what, Trish, to your point, I would probably call like the VFW or the American Legion if we're going to get, I mean, first night out is more or less first responders. If we made, and to Amy's point, if we get the veterans involved in some of the local groups, when's the last time the Ingomar Garden Club has been involved in something that we've done?
I don't know that there is an Ingomar Garden Club anymore.
I thought there was.
They've given us all of their books and things like that. We had
No,
a display.
They still exist, Sue.
Do they?
Yeah, they do, because they do that sale every Mother's Day at Commodore Perry, where they dig up parts of their
Yeah.
garden and sell it.
That's neat. I wish we could do that.
But
Yeah.
I think that some of these smaller groups in the township, I think just reaching out to them and asking them to be a part of a bigger picture, it's going to make it far more exciting for everybody, because it's going to be far more reaching and bring in more people than we ever thought possible. So.
Okay, well, we have a lot of ideas to think about, and hopefully our next March meeting, things will take shape a little bit better. But thank you for all of your ideas and contributions thus far. Does anybody have anything else as far as upcoming or future events?
I just, if I could take a moment, just update you. Last time I spoke a little bit about the Duncan Heights Cemetery, which is on Duncan Manor. There is a group of people that are really working hard to get some things together. We have a young man who is going to work on this as his Eagle Scout project. But being an Eagle Scout, you have to get everything done before you're 18. And this young man is awesome because he just turned 16. So he's got 2 years to work on this project, which I'm really excited about, because he's nothing like my own 2 boys who waited until about a week before their 18th birthday. So they got it. So that's what matters. But I am talking with the town, with Bob Grimm at the town level, but again, I'm going to hopefully have a better idea soon of how the Heritage Center might be able to help with this, because I can't imagine something not tying in better with what the Heritage Center is than, finding these folks. We took a walk through the cemetery 2 Saturdays ago on a snowy day. It's going to be part of Memorial Park's cleanup. There's about 25 shopping carts down there that I could see. And then we're going to continue with like brush removal and general landscaping cleanup as well. But the Scout is planning on creating a rain garden. And what we're hoping to do is to continue the project, and maybe some other Scouts from 329, which is the troop at Memorial Park, can take this on, and maybe one of them create a walking path one year, and one of them might, who is really good on computers, keep working on the database that's been started, and finding families of these folks that have been buried there. And we're also reaching out. There's an African-American church in the city who some of their parishioners were buried there. And so it's tying in African-American history in the city as well, which is something we don't unfortunately see as often in our community. So I'm really excited about it. Just want to let you know that there's a lot of work, a lot of people working hard, and really excited about it. We're just getting some things like the legality of the town almost taking over ownership and some bigger ideas like that. But just want to let you know we are working on that.
At
Is
this
there a
stage,
way? Oh, I'm sorry. Go.
at this stage, is there anything that we can do to support that or no?
What I was talking to Bob, and I think we're going to get a small group together to really focus on some things, because we'll need to talk with our town attorney, et cetera. So if there was one person from this committee that might be interested in joining that group, if this is something of interest to you, we figure at this point, working with one person from the AAC, one from the Heritage Center, and there's two people that have been working really hard on this. And this is where something that the Scout would not be involved in. This is kind of, we'd be looking at not just his project, but long-term plans about how.
Trish, I'd be interested in that, because one thing that occurred to me is not only the project itself, but documenting it.
Mhm.
You know, I take some photos too, and I'd almost like to see if we could almost, you know, take some pictures as the project happens, and then it could be a nice exhibit at the Heritage Center as we report on it, sort of a way
Yeah,
to
love
tie it
that
all
idea.
together. So yeah,
I
loop
think
me in
it
on
could
that.
be a program, Kevin. I was going to suggest, you know, as they go through this and have the Scouts come and, you know, as a public program to say what they learned, the most unique and interesting things they found, and, you know, the hard work that they've done, and document it with photos, like you said,
Yeah.
Kevin. I
So
think
exhibit
we could
program.
host
Yeah.
a program for
Yeah,
them.
that
And
sounds great.
Even, you know, get some clips of oral history is what I'd love to do, even from the families of the
Yeah.
veterans that are buried there. So we've had some verbal commitment from some people who've been in contact with VFWs, et cetera. So I know a lot of the members there aren't necessarily able to get out and like pull you know, shrubbery off of a creek bank, but they do expect that we'll get some good financial support from these groups as well.
Great.
Well, if you could loop me in on that, Trish, maybe also, you know, it's also with something like this, it's a before and after kind of opportunity too. So if you loop me in, maybe I can go and get some pictures before, so that we can see some vistas, you know,
Yeah.
before we bring our
It's a
efforts to
beautiful
bear.
place just to take a walk. It's it's 6 acres. It doesn't seem like would be that big, but it's an interesting property.
Okay.
Will they pick certain plants? Could we have people come and we collect plants for that?
We're
Donate?
probably not there yet, but I definitely see that as, and maybe even with Ralph's water, he's talking to some professionals about a rain garden. And so he will be looking for donations of resources to get that together. So that might be, you know, a good place to start there for sure.
Trish, can you send me just your email connection, and so that I can, I have a couple other thoughts. I'll just loop in with you offline here.
Yep, and I will get you in touch with I think right now it would be great if we could just have a sit down with about 5 people that are really interested in this.
Okay.
And go
Sounds
from there.
great. Fascinating project.
Okay. On to the annual appeal. John, was there some sort of update you wanted to give on the annual appeal? I don't have anything new.
No, I
to the
don't.
best-
Oh,
Sorry. Out of the best of my knowledge, there's been no new donations.
oh,
since
you
last
said
month.
John, excuse me.
That's okay.
Don and John.
Yeah, there have been no new donations since last time, so.
Okay. I was thinking though, is there a way we could either send a thank you or send them a copy of the annual report, but was there any like recognition that people donated to the annual appeal?
You mean public recognition or?
No, just like, you know, send a thank you card back to them.
Traditionally, we would send like a letter just acknowledging their donation, particularly
Okay.
if they wanted to write it off in their taxes.
So those things have already been sent out?
No, they have not. It's been busy,
Okay.
obviously, but yeah, I mean, I'm keeping the list obviously so I can send them out.
Okay.
And I think we
Well,
chose not to include it in the report, right? We had, when we were talking a while back, we had that list of people who gave. And then we took that out of the end report or the year-end report.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. No, I wasn't talking about like a public recognition of
Okay.
people who donated. I was just thinking like more of a thank you card, you know, with some information about the things that we've done in the past year, just to say thank you for supporting us.
And you know,
So-
there are a lot of people that don't want to have their name in the back of an
Yeah.
annual report
Yeah,
Sure.
as being targeted by some other organization to be solicited.
right. So John, maybe I can just see the list of people, or maybe come up with some sort of card. But I have a couple ideas, but I can ask you about that.
Okay.
Let's see. The 2021 end of year report. I emailed that to everyone.
Beautifully
this
done.
afternoon.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah.
Beautifully done. I really liked it.
Good info in there.
Yes.
Fantastic info, even for people that nobody that's ever been at the Heritage Center before can tell that there are people working their tails off in order to make this thing go.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a lead publication for anything that we do, whether it be county, state. It's a fantastic resource. I was really impressed with it. Who put that together? Was that Kevin? Kevin and Abby?
Abby, Carolyn, and of course, Diane. So
Yeah.
I think that was the core team with John's help as well.
Let me tell you something. That was very, very, very well done.
Good. Thank you.
Very well done.
I agree.
And that's a
think
good thing you can use if you are, you know, approaching someone, be they corporate or, you know, if you're writing something out, send them that along. There's nothing in there that's, you know, confidential or anything. It's a
Which is
public
going to
document.
bring me to my next point.
Yeah, and Abby, I don't think I got that. I
Oh,
mean,
really?
Yeah, I'm looking, it came out today?
No, it was
About
supposed to
11,
be presented in your
11:45.
packet yesterday. at
No,
the-
actually, that was, I thought I mentioned that in the, Abby, whenever I sent that to, because John was off yesterday and I called and we sent it to Sandra down
Okay.
at the town office. She had said that because the Heritage Center is on the agenda for, later, they were going to include it in that packet, not the one
Oh.
for yesterday's meeting. So that's probably why you didn't see it, Trish. You'll be seeing it
Okay.
in 2 weeks, but we just shared it with the group here because we had completed it.
You know what? Do we have to vote on that, Abby, to approve it?
I don't know.
I
John?
don't think so. It's just reporting. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, I was just so impressed with that. I thought it was unbelievably well done.
Well, thank you. Trish, would you like me to send it to you in advance or?
I would love to see it. Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, and you, Kevin, you kind of gave me a foray into the next thing that I wanted to talk about, and that is the fact that our signage did not make it into the budget. It's very frustrating. But, you know, I've been told by several people on council that, you know, if we have a way to bring a no cost option to council, that they would strongly consider it. Well, we're going to have that option here, I hope, in the next several months. And that publication that you just put together, once it goes to council, I'm going to utilize that to try and solicit sponsorships for that signage out in front of the center. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing because, you know, when you go out to Brad School Road, on one end of Brad School Road, you see Franklin Park. All their stuff is across being publicized. You look across the street and Marshall is being publicized. I just think it's time. And you know, I know the council has their hands full. They have, you know, rainwater retention issues and on Pine Creek. They have a lot of different things that are going on right now. What we get from McCandless Crossing, I don't think does justice to the town of McCandless. So I believe that we need signage. And, I just want to let everybody know here that once I spoke with the members of council last night and found out that that was ditched from the budget, that, I was told by 3 different people, if you can find a no-cost option, we will, everything short of approval. So we're going to go in that direction because I don't believe in standing still.
Well, let me know if there's anything I can do to help you out, as you solicit people and.
You look great in a
with the
tie,
financials.
Kevin. I'm gonna take you with me.
I haven't worn one in a couple, 2 years. So.
I'm just surprised that council doesn't realize, looking at other municipalities.
You know what? I'm not gonna take anything.
Yeah,
Advertising.
we shouldn't relitigate. Let's just.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna relitigate. And here's the
Still.
thing, Juan. Look, they're elected officials. They're volunteer. One of our representatives is on our board. I can't sit and judge anybody because they have priorities that are priorities of the entire town. I want to take one of those priorities off of their plate. We are all members of this community, and it is incumbent upon us to leave this place a little bit better than how we found it. By going out and soliciting the signage and making the communications better is something that most of our people on council ran on that very principle of keeping things more transparent. So, I'm not going to try and tell Trish what to do, how to do her job, or Carolyn, or anybody on council. I'm going to try and make it easier. Okay. I'm going to try and make it impossible for them to say no.
Well, let's.
I
do
just say very quickly, I think, the council, what may sound like a lack of support is not a lack of support for a sign. It's just if the funding is going to happen, it needs to be put in a place, the right place. And in front of the Heritage Center, it limits the amount of residents that would actually see that sign, because there's a lot of people that never would come past there. And when you mention like Marshall, Franklin Park, et cetera, they're on major thoroughfares. And that's a big difference of what we're talking about.
And you know what, Trish, that is why we're going to approach it in a different vein. When we had a meeting with Bob Grimm, Kevin and I had, and John had talked about 3 different signs in 3 different areas of the township. And that's what we're going to try and accomplish. One needs to be near the Heritage Center because, quite frankly, not everybody knows what the Heritage Center is. There are areas of the township, one being that we've identified these areas. One is Memorial Drive on Route 19. One is down off of McKnight Road near Rave Cinemas, where we could access areas and actually put up signage that would make a difference to the people at large here. So I agree with you, but we need to identify the Heritage Center as the Heritage Center. It's important that we do that.
It is. And a lot of people do travel that road though.
But to Trish's point, Dan, she's right. I mean, if you're talking about getting the maximum value for your dollar, it wouldn't be in front of the Heritage Center. That's why you have to do separate signs.
Yeah, and the Heritage Center just needs, it definitely needs a sign. I mean, because so many people, whenever I tell somebody about it, oh, that's what that is. We really do need a sign.
Somebody asked me what time church services were.
I don't know what it is. Yeah.
So I mean,
Anyway,
I'm sorry, Abby. I've been
No, that's
too
okay.
Diane gets a kick out of this because I get too verbose at these meetings.
Well, you can talk about the next topic then too, because we were asked by the committee putting together the NA Distinguished Alumni Gala back at the end of January, had a celebration of maybe what, eight different distinguished alumni for various career paths or honorable mentions through the years. So I gathered up information, yearbooks, NA memorabilia, and they made a display table. Now, Joe, were you there for that event?
Yeah, I'm very proud to say that my sister was one of the distinguished alumni that was honored. My sister is way overdue in her 15 minutes of fame. The table that was put together, and Mike Tarl's wife had a lot to do with it. Mike, as you know, is the president of council in McCandless. It was wonderfully done. It was very well received. There weren't as many people at the celebration as I thought there would be. There was probably 50 or 60 people there, but it was really a special night, and not just because my sister was honored. The people that our area generates, and I'm not just talking about my sister. It's really, I was flabbergasted at some of the accomplishments of some of these people. I mean, whether it be the arts, be medicine, be law, be in business, you know, we are generating top-notch people that are making a difference in the world. And that night was a special night. The display was a great representation of our history. And I think it was very well received. And, you know, I think it went very well.
Good. Yeah. So I was glad to hear that, you know, they reached out to us and asked for some memorabilia and items from us. So I hope they do it again.
Yeah, Alice Rumberger was in charge of that group, and boy, they really put on a show. I mean, it was a little bit short of the Oscars, but it was pretty close.
Well, that's nice. I sent out an email yesterday that Steve Bullock contacted me seeking judges for National History Day in March. So if anyone would like to volunteer to be a judge or just volunteer helping direct the kids at the Heinz History Center, that happens on March 19th.
Yeah, I've signed up as a judge
good.
already.
Good. Yeah, you don't need to have any sort of like history background or any expertise on the topic that the kids are presenting, but just basically help them, you know, make their presentations and give feedback on, you know, on what they've put together. So I sent that link out. If you need a new link, let me know.
Me and Diane are gonna do that.
Yeah, I'll be there too. That'll be fun.
I might jump in myself. I'm not sure though.
Oh, good.
I think it would be a blast.
Yeah.
Trish, you want to join us?
I've been to a couple of NHDs. Yeah, they're good.
Oh, great.
I will be out of town. It sounds very interesting, but I am heading out of town for a few days. It is, I'll be coming down from the high season, being a very Irish American.
Yeah.
For the next few weeks.
I'm a very Irish American too. I get it. In fact, that's what our next meeting is St. Patrick's Day.
The kickoff party is tomorrow, and down at the Harp and Fiddle.
Oh, you really celebrate for a month, don't you? Yeah,
I've got
girl.
speeches to make and sashes to wear. Trust me, I'll be busy for a few weeks.
That girl, try some of the libations down there.
Oh, don't worry, Joe. I was Guinness girl for 3 years. So
I wasn't talking about the Guinness. I was talking about the Jameson.
All right. I do have a couple operations updates that I would like to share with the group. Amy Wessel has volunteered to take over our object database. So Janice and Claudia have been accessioning the new items that we've received in the last year. or two. So there's kind of been a backlog of entering those items into the database in the computer here in the office. So Amy came in a couple weekends ago and I trained her on how to enter those items into the database. So I'm excited to get that process going and thankful to Amy for being willing to do that. Anne and Cheryl have volunteered to do an object description overhaul. I asked them to go around to the more permanent objects that we have here, like the stoves and the larger things that aren't moved around too often, and come up with a little blurb to put near the stove to, you know, to understand why it's relevant or where it came from, how old it is, just information about things like that. So Anne and Cheryl have been working on that I asked them to do that probably in the fall and in the winter when it got cold. So that has been an ongoing project that I'm hoping to implement, you know, as we go. I spoke with Steve Bullock the other day. He and his family would like to donate the grandfather clock here on behalf of his mother. That was his mom's, he said. So he has talked to a couple people. He needs to have it appraised in order to have a deed of gift made for, you know, insurance record purpose, keeping purposes. So he's in the process of finding someone to appraise the grandfather clock. So if anyone knows anyone who is a clock expert, he said the one person that he reached out to has not gotten back to him yet. So that is a donation that, you know, will be completed. The jukebox on the other side over here, Dick Schnupp was in contact with someone to do the repairs to that. So that's been a long process. I think this past year, Dick has been handling and talking to this guy. He came in a couple times to do some repairs. Now that will remain alone because Steve's son said that he would like to take ownership of the jukebox someday. So, but that repairman, I think, reached out to Dick again recently.
He's testing tubes. Dick talked to him today.
Yeah, it seems like a really interesting process. So maybe I could take some pictures and we'll add that to the Facebook page when he comes to make the final repair. Steve mentioned that he might also have some other things in his basement belonging to his mom and dad that he would be interested in donating. So, you know, more things to come there. We are going to meet in the basement on Sunday to go over some of the larger fixtures that we have for displays that maybe were brought over from JCPenney or stores closing when we first opened that we won't need or are broken or things like that. So we'll mark those for Public Works to dispose of. So Amy, Diane, Carolyn, and I are going to meet here on Sunday morning to dig around in the basement for a while. And then hopefully I emailed John about that task list for Public Works. And then I'm hoping to have the McCandless portrait hung before we reopen. If not, then I would like to do some sort of like unveiling or celebration for our 5-year anniversary surrounding the portrait and its importance too. So I'm not sure what that will look like, but hopefully we can make that happen too. So those are my miscellaneous topics. Does anyone have anything else?
Yeah, did we get word from the solicitor as far as, you know, your capabilities?
Yes, John emailed his response and basically said it was a gray area, that as long as the committee is not, you know, voting to pay the consultant to do things, but it was left as a gray area. So I reached out to John to maybe sit down with him and Bob again. I mean, it might not be.
Look, and I know this is being recorded, but sometimes it's easier to ask forgiveness than it is for permission.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm sorry. What are we asking for?
About me possibly becoming a consultant
Oh,
and
okay.
retaining a place on the FDPC.
Yeah.
This committee cannot really vote or make decisions to commit funds for that kind of purpose anyway.
No, that would have to be, that
That
would be.
all
council.
sits with council.
Mhm.
Right.
So,
But the
maybe
question,
that
Amy,
helps remove some of that concern, because, we would not be,
but the
I say
question,
we,
Amy,
you,
the question, Amy, came with conflict of interest.
right.
And I just wanted to clear delineation, and I have no problems with how things are right now. It's just, I want to make sure that how we are perceived is correct.
Yeah.
Okay. I love Abby. I think she's smarter than I will ever dream of being when it comes to this stuff. But I just want to make sure that there is, 90% of what we are is perception.
Mhm.
And if we are perceived to be doing things the right way and on the up and up, it's great. And if we are perceived not to be, then, so I want to be perceived as though we're doing the right thing. And that's why I asked for John and Abby to consult with the solicitor to make sure that we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
And I don't care what that page is. I just want to make sure that we're all singing from the same song sheet.
Yeah. So no decision has been made at this point, but I will let you know once anything happens. Does anyone else have any comments, updates?
Well, this is
Hey,
truly
listen, I'm-
miscellaneous. What was going on? Does anybody know what was going on Saturday night up by the Rave Theater? There were a bunch of police cars and fire engines. We were coming back from Kent State watching my son play some hockey, and we came home to, it was all must have been 20 police cars and fire engines up there.
Oh my.
Anybody know?
No.
No? Okay. Oh, wow. I figured somebody
Mhm.
here would know. We didn't see anything on the news. It was huge. It was amazing.
Hey, it may have been an exercise.
Maybe it
I
was.
mean, from time to time, Ryan Hawk puts his first responders through some, and you know what, I really appreciate the fact that we have a police chief and our fire chiefs in McCandless. They actually drill first response issues. And it wouldn't surprise me at all, because they have a coordinated effort to do first response drills.
Must have been something like that then.
Abby, I'm going to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Yes.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Well, thank you all.
Thank you, Abby.
Thanks.
Okay,
Good seeing you
bye.
guys. Take care.
All
Okay.
right. Bye-bye.